Hello everyone, what is going on? And welcome back to our My Player Career Mode. I hope you're all doing very well. Thank you for tuning in. As you can see, we start with Liverpool. But before we talk more about that match and actually show you it, we've got to show you some of our previous fixtures and the goals from them. Starting with Crystal Palace in a 3-0 victory before we took on Northern Ireland and won by 3-1 in a European Championship qualifying match. You can see though, in between those games was a game against Switzerland, and we actually lost that by 2-1, but I did not play a part. That was a simmed match. I wasn't selected. So yeah, the two games that I did feature in, we won both. Let's take a look at those goals now. Starting with the 3 goals against Palace then, our first from Serge Gnabry. We broke down the left, got to the byline, pulled the ball back across. Keane's effort was blocked by Mitchell. The ball fell straight to Gnabry's feet for him to find the finish. If his first was a tap-in, well, his second was quality. After a great team move, we play the ball back down to Tierney. It was Moise Kean who started the move off. He then is involved again as he lays this to Havertz, who plays it first time to Gnabry. One touch to set himself, the second one to find the top corner. And then into the second half, Palace court trying to play their way out from the back. Tierney intercepts it from Ferguson. We go again down the left-hand side. Deep across this time into the back post area, and there is Moise Kean with the goal that his performance deserved. 3-0 the scoreline, a victory for us there, and then it was time to play with England against Northern Ireland. Matty Longstaff starting things off with a close-range finish. To be fair though, Northern Ireland's goal was probably the goal of the 3 that you're about to see. We get a slight bit of fortune here, and I just rely heavily on my pace against Burns to be able to break through before finding the bottom corner to make it England 2, Northern Ireland 1. That was an important goal as well because, like I say, they probably got the goal of the match. Smith's ball over the top. Paddy McNair waits for the ball to bounce, and on the half volley, rockets it into the back of England's net. So, yeah, fair play to him. Fantastic goal to try and pull them back into this match. But then there was Delhi to make sure of the 3 points for England in a 3-1 victory. So, all in all, 2 wins, apart from the game that I didn't play in, of course. Let's move on. And now you've seen the goals, that moves us nicely into this Liverpool tie then. At home, at Stamford Bridge. They're actually in 8th place at the moment in the Premier League, so not had the best of starts, but they have scored 14 goals. But if we take a look at the player stats, joint top scorer Victor Osimhen for Liverpool has 9 in 8. He is 9 of his team's 14 goals alone. So, yeah, we're going to have to try and keep him quiet in this game if we want any chance at the 3 points. You can take a look, though, and see that Havertz is in 3rd. So, really, it's Osimhen against Havertz. They're the 2 most likely scorers in this one. If we take a look at the 2 lineups as well, they both do, in fact, start. You can see on our side, Havertz just in behind Keane. Myself on the left, Gnabry on the right. For Liverpool, they've got Elliott on the right, Jota on the left, with Osimhen down the middle. It's their standard 4-3-3 that you've come to expect. But who is going to get the 3 points? Let's find out. Jota into the feet of Osimhen. Off to Elliott. Nice move. And Elliott shot straight at Mendy. 13 minutes on the clock. And Liverpool starting off the stronger of the 2 lineups so far. We cannot seem to get this ball to our front 3 and really try and work anything up the other end. As Elliott's trying to play the ball through to the on-running Paul Pogba. Osimhen has been heavily involved so far in the first 15 minutes, but not had a sight of goal himself just yet. There's Elliott across the face of goal, and that was the first sight for him. Mendy, you are an incredible goalkeeper. A double save from Chelsea's number 1. Tremendous goalkeeping, but what are Chelsea doing so far? I don't know what to say. You just saw how much pressure we were under, and finally we do now get the chance of a breakaway ourselves, waiting for a run to come through. There's the pass to Havertz. He somehow holds on to it. It wasn't my best pass in the world. And now Gnabry into some space for Chelsea. Are we about to get our first chance then? Cancelo combining with Moise Kean, but unfortunately our play just runs into nothing. But what about that from Mendy? Chelsea with Edouard Mendy to thank that this is still 0-0. And now we break down the left. Tierney back into the middle. First touch was decent. Oh, it's a penalty. It's a penalty to Chelsea, and it's kind of harsh on Lucas Hernandez, who I don't think did too much wrong. We do get the shot away as well, and to be fair, I caught it nicely, so I don't think there's much in this. Oh, there's not really a lot, but the referee's given it. Jurgen Klopp unhappy, his side being the better of the 2, and Kai Havertz then with a chance to give Chelsea what you could describe There's a bit of an undeserved lead so far. Havertz against Alisson, steps up. And not only did I put mine wide, so did he. Neither one of us hit the target. Is it going to be Chelsea's day today? Because everything in this first 25 minutes points to no. Cancelo forward to Serge Gnabry. Gnabry to Keane. He's got Havertz to his left. He's also got me to the left as well. And now he does play that pass. And as you can see, here goes Tierney. Alexander-Arnold slides in. Doesn't get near the ball. Kieran Tierney across the face of goal. I think in the end he picks the wrong option. There was a couple of runners ending up running late into the box, which I think was the better pass as Gnabry finds Bakayoko. Chance! Goal! Bakayoko strikes. Chelsea lead. And Liverpool just don't pick up the runners. I highlighted the late runners, the couple of late runners that Tierney didn't spot when he initially put the cross in. What, 10, 15 seconds before this? And then Bakayoko from midfield, you can see him there on your screen. Pogba doesn't track the run. He knows exactly where he wants to put this ball. One touch, second one to finish. And it's just a class finish from Bakayoko, who's had a very, very good game here. And you know, in that first half, there was nothing to separate both sides. And it wasn't for the want of trying. Mendy made a couple of great saves. Havertz missing a penalty. But it's Bakayoko who's given Chelsea the lead. Corner ball Chelsea. 10 minutes remain here. Liverpool not being able to do too much in this second half. To be able to try and create. As Moise Kean does test the palms of Alisson. But it's a simple push over the bar for the Liverpool number one. We'll get another chance for another corner. This time aimed towards Havertz. It's the same scenario though. He uses two hands this time. And whenever you see that ball heading towards the head of Kai Havertz, you know he's got a great chance of winning it. Any moment now, the referee will end this one off. And there you go. Chelsea 1, Liverpool 0 is the final score. The first half, it had its moments. The second half was all about Bakayoko and that class finish to give Chelsea the 3 points. And we did a good job, actually, in that second half of keeping the league's most informed player in Osimhen quiet, to be fair. So well done to our defenders. So it has been a while since our last episode, so just to update you before we jump into our third group stage match of the Champions League, this is how the group is looking. So Bayern on the single point, which of course they picked up against us in the last episode. They scored the goal to equalise in a 1-1 draw. Club Brugge down in 4th. They've only got a point themselves as well, but we take on Salzburg here, looking to take control of the group ourselves. We're away. And, yeah, it won't be an easy game. They did beat, I think, Bayern in game number 1. So, I nearly said group number 1, but of course they're in the same group. Game number 1, I'm pretty certain they beat Bayern. So, might be a tough opponent here. And looking at their starting 11, have they got Todd Cantwell starting at left wing? Interesting signing from them. For us, changes to tell you about. Piontek in for Moise Kean. And I believe that might be the only change that we've seen. Credit where it's due, Salzburg have been the better side here in this first half. On the ball, they're so much more calm than we are. The amount of times we're giving it away under no pressure at all is a little bit ridiculous. But if anyone's going to score, it's going to be them. They look the more likely at the moment. We cannot seem to really create much, and that's just a sloppy challenge to make. It's a free kick, Salzburg, and that's, I guess, a little bit of the frustration. I was just about to say, whilst there's not been too many positives in this match for us, Bayern were behind to Club Brugge at the Allianz. Well, they've just equalised, so that's not even going our way now. Ball over the top here, Hudson-Odoi to chase. Is he onside though? Well, I think he is. No flag, no offside flag, but he went first time to, I'm not really sure who. He had time to take a touch and maybe take it further, but that's really been the story of Chelsea's game here tonight. We've had less possession, and I think we've had one shot the entire match as well, so yeah, it's been a tough evening for us. And it's not even really that Salzburg have made it that tough as Havertz steals the possession. Oh no! How does that happen like that? We're literally through on goal. Piontek passes it on to Havertz, who's still on the ground, and that blocks the pass through. As I was saying, it's not even really Salzburg if they score now. Good block, Cancelo. It's not even that Salzburg have been good, it's just we've been poor. 2 minutes to go until full time, and as you see, that little sequence of events pretty much sums up how this game has gone. Especially the bit where Havertz is on the floor, the pass hits him and stops it going through. But anyways, here is Piontek. Hudson-Odoi tries the ball quickly round the corner to Kai Havertz. They get in well to win it. And there's the ball down the right. I may as well stay with you now. If they score, we are in for a very, very disappointing night. It's already disappointing enough, but the one thing we don't want to do is lose this by a goal to nil. 30 seconds left. And that, my friends, has to be one of the most boring games of football I've played a part in for some time, it feels like. So I can only apologise for the lack of highlights here, but given the way we played, 0-0 draw is a fair reflection. Next up for us then is Newcastle. They're in 12th position at the moment, and our top 6 in the Premier League, Manchester United and Manchester City, climbing themselves to the top 6. And just Norwich, really, the surprising team in there. You remember that West Brom were up this end of the table in the top 4 at one point, weren't they? Well, they've dropped off. So, yeah, just Norwich, surprising to see them in there. But fair play to them. 5 points adrift of us now. We have a 2-point gap over Spurs in second. And this is our 10th match of the season. There's the 2 lineups. And Keane returns to the starting 11. Piontek did absolutely nothing in that Champions League tie. And just to let you know as well, Bayern were held to a 1-1 draw against Club Brugge. So that does help us because it means they have not picked up any points on us. So every team in our group pretty much gets a single point after 2 draws. Kepa starts against his former club for Newcastle, though, in goal. Keep your eyes on him and see how he performs. Watch him have an outstanding game against us. It's always tough whenever a team sits behind the ball to break them down, but that's exactly what we're going to have to try and do, because so far, most of the stuff that Kepa's had to deal with has been fairly routine, as that's probably the best chance we've created in the first 33 minutes. We finally get a slight opening in a good position. Moise Keane goes first time, maybe trying to catch Kepa off guard, but he reads it. It'll be a Chelsea corner. But yeah, Newcastle just sat with bodies back behind the ball, making things very, very tough for us. Sanson heads it away. Here is Keane. We're just trying to find a way through right now, this Newcastle defence. Here is Havertz through. Chance, Kepa with a save, of course. Of course he would. It just feels like every time we've got into those positions, found someone who's available, there's always been a Newcastle player in range to block the shot. And if it's not been a Newcastle player, as you saw there, then it's the goalkeeper. Now I'm starting to think, do you just try for a long shot and hope for the best as we do release Havertz? But he hasn't got the chance to take the shot on. Will find me now, though. And we do get the shot away. I'm not sure if there was a deflection in there because it seemed to lose any pace that we had behind it, the shot, as it trickled through for Kepa to make the save. I'm wondering if there was a slight deflection. I mean, the referee's added on a minute here, but that's going to be it. As soon as we defend this or maybe even concede, we're going to be out of time. So, we've been held to a 0-0 draw against Newcastle, who've not registered a single shot on target. And just to confirm it then, there's the match facts. 9 shots, 5 on target. Newcastle with 0 and 0. They did have 48% of the ball, but they didn't do anything with it. That's not the way we want to be, you know, drawing games. We've got to try and find a breakthrough somewhere in that. And I know we had a couple of chances. Kepa made the save when we released Havertz. He made a save from Keane earlier on in the match as well. But ultimately, the last 2 games that we've played, we were poor against Red Bull Salzburg. And there, you know, we did have chances, but nothing really clear cut. And a little bit of that is down to the fact that Newcastle were just sat behind the ball because it's incredibly tough. But the Salzburg game, they didn't. They played a 4-4-2. They tried to attack against us. Neither side brilliant on the night. But anyway, we move on then into round 4 of the EFL Cup, which is up against Reading. Imagine the scenes, yeah, if Reading end up beating us here. Well, they're in a great position. He's got a second chance at it here, Ajaria, and now a third for Laurent, and it's wide. Samuels forward to Puskás, into the middle where Ajaria is, and that's a great first touch. Gets around the challenge. Oh my, Tamori's being yellow carded, and it's a penalty kick, I think. We saw a bit of a dubious one, didn't we, earlier against Liverpool? Well, that I don't think is either. Reading have the chance to send us out of the Carabao Cup. 14 minutes to go. Mendy saves it. Get in. Edouard Mendy, you hero. It's still not good. We played 77 minutes of football. The best chances have fallen the way of Reading. Kante. We've made a run through. Kante's ball. We're in. Chance on the right foot. Get in. 5 minutes to go. Reading 0, Chelsea 1. Get in. I'm always conscious when we've played pretty badly and the games haven't had that many highlights. I want to give you the best highlights, the best matches possible. And after that Liverpool 1-0 win where you can say, you know, fair enough, you expect that to be a close game. The other 2 that we saw, yeah, they just didn't live up to to what I expect from us. So I can only apologise for that. And Reading here, they gave it a go and arguably could have easily knocked us out if they'd have converted that penalty. The hero, Edouard Mendy for Chelsea, though, came up big against Liverpool with 2 massive saves. Saved the spot kick here. We've gone up the other end and slotted home. 5 minutes to go. We'll see if there's to be any late twists of drama here. And there is full time. We are through, but we did make things very tough for us indeed. Let's have a look at the league table and stuff before we go today. So as you see, Spurs are now joint top with us, only behind on goal difference. They took advantage of our slip-up against Newcastle by beating Wolves 3-1. Leicester in 3rd, City in 4th. We do have a gap to both of those, though. Norwich still very much in the European places in 5th place, but there's a lot of teams very close to them, in fact. Manchester United down in 8th, Liverpool 9th, Arsenal 12th, Newcastle down in 13th. You can see the bottom 3, Wolves, Everton and Burnley are in there. For our Carabao Cup, I'm pretty certain the draw hasn't been made. Oh, it has! We've drawn Arsenal. So we've got our former club in the quarterfinals then. After our 1-0 victory over Reading, which you just saw. Burnley take on Manchester City. Nottingham Forest play Fulham. Liverpool against Aston Villa. So if we get past Arsenal, Liverpool and City are the 2 to watch out for, I guess. And we'll see who it is who we end up facing if we can make it past Arsenal. For the Champions League group, we know that we're on 5 points now. The exact same as Salzburg. 2 draws to our name. Those coming against Salzburg and Bayern, who find themselves rock bottom of Group E. There is one thing I want to show you, though, before we go today, and that is the Dortmund team, to see if they're still together as a team since we've left, or if they've, sold some players on, looking at the likes of Haaland and Sancho, and see if those 2 are still there or not. Where am I going? There we are, Borussia Dortmund. So, Haaland is still at the club. He's still very much a Dortmund player. Quality, 92 rated. He's so good. Sancho's still there as well, 93 overall. Chukwueze's joined the club, I think, since we've left. Giovanni Lo Celso has joined. Or maybe he was already there. I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, Haaland and Sancho still at Dortmund. And as I'm scrolling down, you can see who's there as well. So maybe they're in for potentially a fight back this season in the Bundesliga after Bayern reclaimed the crown last season. But I want to say a massive thank you for watching. As always, a huge thank you as well for all of your support on the channel. Thank you as well for your patience. Go enjoy the weather. It's been incredibly warm in the UK. So yeah, I hope you're enjoying that. But until next time, stay safe, have a great day, have a great evening, and I will catch you all again very, very soon. Adios.